Hi guys, welcome back. Just kidding. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a loaded baked potato chicken casserole. So it's going to have all of the ingredients that a loaded baked potato would have. It's going to have some bacon, it's going to have some green onions, it's going to have some cheese, some sour cream, but then it's also going to have some chicken and some other spices and stuff like that. So this is a good recipe. This is one of those just kind of throw it all together, put it in the oven and just kind of let it go. So it's really fast, it's really easy, it's really delicious, and I think you guys are going to really like it. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't had the chance. And let me go ahead and show you guys how to make this delicious loaded baked potato cheesy chicken casserole. All right, you guys, so to get started, I'm doing kind of like a use up all the extra stuff that's in my fridge, kind of a dinner tonight. So I have this like random, just a couple pieces of bacon. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get these chopped up, and I'm just gonna dice this into a nice big dice. And then I'm gonna fry this up in my cast iron pan, and I'm going to actually build the entire casserole just right in my cast iron. So that's like what's really great about cast iron pans is that, you know, you can throw them in the oven and they work really, really well for pretty much everything. So I love my cast iron pan. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this aside because the pan is not quite heated up yet. And then, like I said, because I'm just kind of like using things up in my fridge, you know, this isn't like a traditional ingredient, but I have these 3 pieces of jalapeno here that I had from the other day when I made jalapeno poppers, and there just wasn't enough filling for these 3, so I had these little extra pieces. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop these up, and I'm gonna just throw these into my casserole too. So I'm a big fan of jalapenos. I like the flavor a lot. So jalapenos aren't like super spicy, so I'm just gonna cut these up into small pieces. All right, you guys, so I have my onion already chopped up, and then I did chop up a few pieces of garlic, and I just threw that in there, and I didn't chop it up that good, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna put all these here for a sec so that I can start working on my potatoes. Get rid of all that. Okay, and then I'm just using these gold potatoes. So I'm just gonna chop these up into, I don't want the pieces to be like super big, but I also don't want them to be super small. So just a really good like bite-sized piece. So that looks pretty good. I have 5 potatoes here, but I'm just gonna kind of see how I feel about this once I get going, because 3 of them are really big and then 2 of them are just kind of small. So I might only use 3. Okay, so I think the pan is hot enough now for me to go ahead and throw my bacon in. I'm not gonna add any oil to this just because there's so much like fat in the bacon. And so yeah, when you hear that sizzle, that means it's good to go. So just gonna kind of break these pieces up a little bit, but as they cook, they'll break down. So it's not too big of a deal if you don't get in there and get them all broken up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and render this down for probably 3 to 4 minutes. And then once it's kind of like started to release some of that grease and stuff, then I'll go ahead and throw my onions and my garlic and my jalapenos in here. So you guys, I get this bacon at the deli at the meat counter, and it's really good. It's usually between $4.99 and $6.99 a pound, but I only buy it when it's at $4.99, and then I just put it in my freezer. I have them wrap it in like pounds, and honestly it just makes a big difference because it's just like a better quality bacon. So that's a little tip for you. Just keep your eye on that when it's on sale. Grab that up. Alright, so I'm just gonna let that do its thing. I'm just going to go ahead and chop up this other potato here, and I think I'm only going to use these 3 potatoes because nobody's home tonight, and so this is who knows if they're even going to eat when they get here. Right, and I'm just going to throw all my potatoes in this bowl. Ah. Ooh, the bacon smells so good. So good, so good. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and set that over there for a second. And then I'm gonna chop up my chicken the same way. And you guys want to make sure that you use a plastic cutting board for meats, and that you kind of keep that separated from your like raw vegetables and things like that that you're going to be cooking. So, all right, you guys. So I'm going to use 3 chicken breasts. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut all this like gritty stuff off the sides here. Okay, and you guys know what I do. I save these pieces, these scrap pieces, and I fry them. And then I give them to my dog. So he really likes that. So I'm going to put him in this little bowl here for him. Alright, and then I'm just going to slice this chicken. Okay. And this piece has like this nasty stuff on there, so I'm just gonna cut that off. I don't know why I have this like miniature cutting board trying to do this with. It's just sometimes you just always think things through, right? Okay, let me cut these up. I'm going to cut these into just little bite-sized pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to just throw this into my bowl with my potatoes right now because I need to get this out of my way. Okay, second piece, get that thing off of there. And then again, I'm just going to slice it. I'll just cook this piece for the dog. Guys, I'm going to put my oven on 400 degrees right now so that it can heat up, because this is not going to take that much longer at all. So let me do that really fast. Okay. All right. And then again, this will be for the dog. I'm going to take that whole chunk off of there. Got some good pieces there. Alright, and then sometimes there's like a weird thing going on this side, but sometimes there's not. Cut that off. This was like a random amount of chicken. I had 3 pieces in here. This was something I threw in the freezer, so. And I haven't wanted to go to the grocery store, so I'm just doing what I can with what I got, you know? You know how that goes. Alright, cut this up. And then I'm going to get rid of this knife, and I'm going to get rid of this cutting board, and I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. Right, you guys. So, I'll show you what I got going on here. So my bacon is rendering down really, really good. You see it's starting to get a little bit crispy. So I am going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to wait a minute. I want it to get a little bit more well done here. I think my stove is going out because it seems to like, it seems to have like hotter areas. I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, we're gonna just let this go for just maybe another like minute or 2. Once it gets to this point, it goes pretty quickly. So it's not gonna take that much longer, because you can see some of the pieces are already pretty crunchy. So look at all this good fat that came out of there. What I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna move this over here to this side and let it keep cooking. And then on this side of my pan, I'm just gonna add in my veggies, just so those can start cooking too. And it's like instantly, it smells insane in here. I don't know what I did with this garlic. It just did not get chopped up that good. Okay, so there we go. Okay, just gonna let that kind of sit there and do that for a minute. Put a little bit of pepper on my veggies. I'm not going to add any salt because this bacon grease is going to be pretty salty as it is. I'm going to put some pepper on there, so. Okay. All right. I don't want this to burn. So I really, really need to keep my eye on it because, like I said, this is going to go really, really fast. So actually, it already looks like it's gone. I'm just going to wait here for a sec. I think it's okay. Alright, I'm going to turn it down just a bit. Alright, you guys, so coming back here, back to our chicken and our potatoes. So I'm just going to take some avocado oil, and I'm just going to put about a tablespoon or so, it's probably about 2 tablespoons actually, right down into my pan, right down into my bowl. And then I have some salt here. This is kosher salt, you guys. Kosher salt is different than iodized salt, so make sure that when you see me put all the salt in, it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's not as much as if, you know, if I would have put iodized salt in here, it would have been a lot more, so it would have been a lot saltier. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in some of my garlic pepper. I'm just going to put it here into my hand because I think it's going to be okay. So that's probably about, I'd say like 2 teaspoons. Okay. Checking my bacon, hold on. Okay guys, real quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this all together now. Okay, and just let this kind of cook. I think the bacon has crisped up enough that it's okay to do this now. So I'm going to just let this cook just like this for just another few minutes. Maybe like 2 more minutes, because I don't want to cook. I don't want anything to burn. Okay. All right. Back to our chicken. All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of onion powder. So I'm going to do probably about a teaspoon. A little bit of garlic powder, even though I just put in that garlic pepper. I love garlic. I can't get enough of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I'm also going to add in a little bit of paprika, and I don't want to put this in my hand just because I don't want my hand to get red. Okay, so I'm going to put about a tablespoon of that in there. Right, let's see. I'm also going to add a tiny bit of oregano just because I really like oregano. I feel like it needs some kind of a green, sort of herby type of a thing, so just put a little bit of that in there. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and toss this together here. I'm going to put in a little bit more oil because I want to make sure everything has a really good amount of oil on it. So this is avocado oil, so this is a healthier oil. Alright, that's better. Oops. Alright, so we just want to kind of toss this together. Put all these spices in here, let this kind of get to marinating a little bit. And then I'm going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull all of this out of this pan. Okay, and I'm going to add this back in after this bakes. So I don't want all of this stuff to go in the oven because I just don't want it to get like burned. And so at the 45-minute mark, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to add my cheese and all of this mixture like right on the top of it. So it's the one thing I don't like about cast iron pans is they're so heavy. It's hard to just like dump the pan over. It's going to be fine. Okay. It's going to be good enough for me. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go ahead and just dump this right in. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of move it around a little bit more. This chicken didn't get very broken down in there, so there we go. Alright, you guys, I'm straight into the oven. I'm going to put it in there right now. And like I said, it's going to be in there for 45 minutes. You guys, and that's my little scraps for my dog. I just wanted to show you real quick. I'm not going to put anything on this because the dog doesn't need any salt or anything like that, obviously. But I'm going to throw this in my oven with my casserole and just let it kind of cook and then feed it to him later on. So. Alright, you guys, and here it is. It's still bubbling and it's all cooked up. It's looking beautiful. The chicken's done. The potatoes are nice and soft. But just make sure nothing's really stuck on the bottom. And then I'm just going to go ahead and throw in a whole bunch of cheese. I probably have about 2 cups of cheddar cheese here. That all on the top there. I'm going to throw my bacon and onions back down. Alright, and then I'm just going to throw this back in the oven for about 10 minutes just until that cheese is melted. And there's my chicken for the doggy, so I'll be super happy about that. And then I'm just going to top it with some scallions. So I'm just chopping up 6 scallions here. And then I'm also just going to throw some sour cream on top. Alright, there it is, all nice and cheesy, bubbly, everything's melted down. Just throwing those scallions down. Ooh, look at that cheese. Look at that chicken. Looks so good.